Hello everyone, welcome back to all of you on my YouTube channel. I'm Mishra. I'm making this video for keeping chemical engineering to a late in demo extent that the COMSOL multiphysics software. So already I made two video where in the first video I have already discussed about the fundamentals why there is need of the COMSOL multiphysics software for chemical engineers, and after that I have in the second lecture I have discussed about the user interface and the workflow of this COMSOL multiphysics 6.0. So and also I have discussed about how to draw the 2D geometry in COMSOL multiphysics 6.0. So here in this lecture also I will be talking about some more important geometry and how to make various kind of geometry in COMSOL multiphysics 6.0. So here once you open these things in 2D interface, here you will see already these things I have discussed about the global definition parameter. I'll go to the material section in the later section of this video series. So here I am supposed to discuss about the various kind of geometry and how to make a complicated geometry in these things. 2D. So here you can see that in build all geometry. So let's say if I want to make a geometry like a circle. So once I'll click on the circle, here you see that in component you will see there is a circle, right? So now if you want to customize the circle, so based on the radius and the parameter that is given for the customization is radius as well as the sector angle. So in the last lecture I have told you radius, obviously you know that if you put, let's say, 30 micrometer radius, and sector angle, let's say if I am putting 90 degrees, so it will make a arc kind of thing. So right, and let's say if I am putting the x and y coordinate, for the center is 0 and 0, and we'll go to build selected. So see, you are able to see that it will make an arc, and if you put 90 degree angle, then you will see there will be an arc of radius 30 micrometer, right, and the center will be at 0 0. So now let's say if you want to move this circle, so if I want to move this arc along the x-axis at up to a unit of 10 micrometers. So you can see that earlier the x coordinate of the center was 0, and now it moved to 10. And let's see if I want to move to y coordinate is 5 also. So once you will build selected, it will move along the y direction with a 5 unit or 5 micrometer unit. So now the center of this circle arc will look like a 10 and 5, something like that, right? So okay, it's fine now. So but again I'll go to 0 and 0. So this is how you can move the circle or any kind of geometry that you are making in COMSOL multiphysics. And let's see now if I want to make a sector angle is 120, right? So I mean this will be very much helpful for making a complicated kind of geometry where you will making the union of 3 and 4 geometry and making a complicated 2D geometry, something like that. So if I build all, so you can see this will make an arc of 120 degree angle. Is that clear? This is how it will look like. And let's see if I will change this one is 0 sector angle, so it will build like a semicircle, something like that. Okay. So again you can move the center and all, you can do this things. And again there is a rotation angle, right? So if I do the rotation angle is let's say 60 degree. So what it will do, you can see it will rotate your geometry, right? Rotation angle. And let's say if I move this as 80 degrees, so if I want to rotate, so definitely you can get the mirror image of the earlier geometry that was there. And again if I make it 0, so again it will be like that. So the rotation can be helpful in some circumstances where let's say you don't want to make these things like that but in inverted form. So let's say how these things will work. So let's say I want to draw a rectangle in the same geometry, and in the rectangle I want to let's say 100 and the height will be let's say 50. Okay, so if I'll be selected, okay, and now what so now see here there are two geometry, circle and rectangle. So if I'll go to circle, here you see the rotation angle, but now I don't want this circle to be like that. This circle should be in between here or somewhere here. So let's say if I rotate with this 180 degrees, so how does it look like? Now this will be this is looking like that. Now again if I move this things up to 40, x coordinate up to 40, so now you will see if I'll build selected, again let's say I'll move with something like that. So now it will be in the center. So this is how you can make this kind of geometry. Again, if I want to make something like that, I can draw these things while using this sketch also. So let's say if you want to draw this kind of thing, geometry, sorry, polygon, something like that. So I'll start here, I'll go here, again I'll come here. So this kind of customized geometry also you can make here. Is that clear? Okay. So let's say if I make this kind of arc, right? Something like that. Here also you can make this kind of arc, right? So this is how this looks like. Okay. So now I'll make a build selected, all of these things. So this is circular arc, and now you can see in arc also the center of the arc is 30 and 50. So let's say if I'll move to 50, so see how this arc will move. So it got moved along this direction, something like that. Again, x and y coordinate here is there. And also you can see that is the starting point and end point. So I mean, let's say here there are center, there is a starting point, there is end point, radius, and all of these things are there. So I mean, which variables you are using, you can use any of these variables, and you can move all of this kind of geometry, whatever the what is the requirement of your final geometry, right? So this is some fundamentals related to the making the geometry, right? So let's say again I want to make if I'll go to geometry, and again if I want to make an ellipse, right? So let's say I'll go to click on ellipse, and here you can see in ellipse we have a semi-axis and b-axis, and major axis and minor axis, and there is sector angle is 360. So here also you can put the center coordinate 0, 0 and 0. So I won't be putting center coordinate 0, 0. So right now I will be putting center coordinate is 30 and 0, right? So 0 and 30, okay? So see how this will look like. So here I'll make 100, and the minor axis I'll make a 50, and I'll do the B selected. So but here again this is overlapping the usual geometry that was there. So again I'll decrease this size, so you can customize all of these things, right? Again I'll make it 20. So here you will see these kind of things are there. And again if you want to shift the geometry y coordinate, so you can make it 40, so it will get shifted something that is 20, so it will be in between something like that. So this is how these things look like, and after that you can draw these things, and if you want to form the union, so you can make a union also. Is that clear? So this one was an arc, and all of these things are there. So since this is an arc, that's why this will not be a union of these things, because this is a solid figure and this is an arc only, right? So that's why it is looking like this. So this is how these things look like. Now coming to these things, let's say you have inserted this ellipse, but you don't want this ellipse in your final figure or final geometry. So if I go to ellipse, I can click right, and after that I can delete also. So here you can see that geometry will get deleted, and after that you will make a build also. After doing the build all, what will you see here? What will you see here? That the geometry got removed from here. So let's say I want to remove this arc also. So I'll go and click here, and I'll do delete, and I'll put, are you sure want to delete? Yes, I want to delete. And after that again you have to press the build all, then only it will get subtracted from your geometry, right? So this is something that is very, very important for making a geometry. So I hope this is clear to all of you now. Geometry things are very clear. So now I will be removing all of these geometry one by one. So you will be able to see that all the geometry got removed from the main file. Okay, so if I'll do the build all. So again I have deleted all of the geometry. Now coming to the next part, that I'll be talking about some tools. Let's say I am going to make a rectangle like 100, width is 100 and the height is let's say 50, and I'll do build all objects, something like that. Okay, now I want to again let's say I want a circle, something like that. Okay, I want to draw a circle, and here I will be teaching you some kind of tools for the addition and subtraction. So if in circle radius I am taking is 20 and sector angle is this, and x-axis is I am putting at your 40, and y-axis again I am putting at 20, right? So here you can see the circle will be there. Okay, so now I want to subtract. So here I want to subtract this circle from this rectangle, right? So I'll go to boolean, and here you can see there is a difference, right? So in difference, if I click on the difference, what it will do, So object to add and object to subtract. So object to add is this one and the object to subtract is this one, right? If I'll do these things and I'll do the build all, you can see from the rectangle the circle got removed, right? So this is how these different things work. So in Boolean we have lots of these things: union, intersection, difference, composite, partition object, partition domains and partition distance. So let's say now, okay, this got removed. So again, if I want to draw let's say rectangle, if I do draw a rectangle here, okay, sorry, a square. So the length of a square I am assuming is let's say 50, okay, and x and y coordinate, x I will be assuming is your 60 and y coordinate I will be assuming is 20, right? So once you do the build all, you can see there is a distance, right? And again, if I'll go here in Boolean and I'll do the intersection, right? So here you can see that you can clearly visualize there is a circle that is being subtracted from a rectangle, and there is a square here, right? And here you can see the boundary of this one is the boundary of your rectangle and this one is the boundary of your square, but you don't want to see this in your actual design, right? That does not look nice. So what you will do, let's say I'll go to Boolean and I'll make it union, right? So if I'll make union, see how what will you do? You see. So I'll make this is as a union and I'll do build all, right? So once I'll do this build all, this will get union, something like that. Now I'll go to Boolean, I'll do the intersection. Once I'll do the intersection, keep input object, keep interior boundary. So here you can see that I don't want to keep interior boundary and keep input object also. So if I'll click here and I'll make it build all, sorry. So before that I have to remove the union actually. So in union you can see, let's see, I am doing the difference. So here, okay, sorry, I cannot do these things because all of these things were union. So I'll have to remove the union, but here I'm not getting any option to remove the union. Sorry, here is the union, and I'll delete the union first and then we'll do, okay. So now I'll do build all, okay. Now this one, these both image are there now, separate image. Now if I want to do, let's say again intersection, so see how these things will work. So I'll go to intersection and input object, keep the object, here you can see lots of options are there where keep input object, keep interior boundaries, keep low dimension, intersection, and all of these things are there. So I'll remove it since I don't want to put the keep interior or boundary. So I don't want this interior boundary, and I'll go and click here and I have selected these two, and after that I'll build all. So you need to provide input object. So the input object, yeah, so input object is this one, and after that I'll go. Okay, so let's say this one is my input object, and once I'll build all. Okay, so you can see that intersection was there, and here it got removed from here, right? So this is how this intersection things work. So I mean, what I'll suggest you, with practice you will be able to learn all of these tools. So again, in the next lecture I'll be talking about some compose and these tools: array, copy, mirror, move, rotate, and all of these things. That is very, very important. And after that I'll be talking about chamfer, fillet, and offset, and some another tools also. So that is very, very important tool. And after that I'll be moving towards the multiphysics, how you can use the multiphysics for transport of fluid in a pipe, or transport of fluid in a two domain, the diffusive and convective transport, all of this, and transport in a porous media. Okay, so I hope this is clear to all of you. And before ending the lecture, I would like to request you all, those who have not subscribed the channel, please go and do like and subscribe, so that if I am putting any new video on this particular topic for the COMSOL multiphysics, that is very, very important topic for chemical engineers, and definitely you will get the notification immediately. Okay, thank you. See you in the next video.